Thanks for joining us. You're watching ARIRANG News Break on this Monday, June 6th, Memorial Day here in Korea. Marking the 61st Memorial Day, a national ceremony was held this morning to remember the fallen heroes. President Park Geun-hye, who just came home from her trip to Africa and France, was also there to give a commemorative speech. Song Ji-sun starts us off with more on the president's message.
President Park paid tribute to the nation's fallen heroes during her speech on Memorial Day at the Seoul National Cemetery on Monday. She expressed the nation's gratitude to those who fought in the Korean War and those who fought for Korea's independence against Japan's colonization. She also expressed regret for the divided Korean peninsula, saying that North Korea's pursuit of nuclear weapons is the biggest obstacle standing in the way of a unified Korea, posing a threat to regional and global peace. Pointing to North Korea's recent claim of being a nuclear state made at its Workers' Party Congress last month, President Park warned once again that the regime's nuclear and missile development will only lead to further isolation and stronger pressure from the outside world.
정부는 북한이 비핵화의 길을 선택하고 대화의 장으로 나올 때까지 국제사회와 긴밀하게 협력하면서 강력한 제재와 압박을 지속해 나갈 것입니다.
The president pledged to firmly respond to any provocation from the north and vowed to further strengthen the country's defense readiness in alliance with the United States. With representatives from the country's rival political parties present at the ceremony, President Park also issued a call for unity.
국가 안보에는 여야, 지역, 세대의 구분이 있을 수 없습니다. 국민 모두가 하나된 마음으로 힘을 합쳐야만 분단의 역사를 마감하고 한반도의 평화와 통일의 길을 열어갈 수 있습니다.
In her first public appearance since returning from her trip to Africa and France, President Park also pledged to expand benefits for war veterans and secure quality jobs for retired soldiers. Song Ji-sun, ARIRANG News.
The first session of the 20th National Assembly convenes tomorrow, but Korea's three main political parties are still wrangling over naming of key assembly posts. The deputy floor leaders of three parties sat down a little over an hour ago, where they're likely to debate over which party member should take the coveted seat of National Assembly Speaker, two deputy speaker seats, and the chairs of key parliamentary committees. If they fail to reach an agreement by today, the issue will be put up for a vote, and in that case, the main opposition Minju Party of Korea is likely to hold the upper hand as it holds the majority in the incoming assembly. The first ever South Korea-Cuba foreign ministers meeting was held on Sunday local time. During the historic talks, South Korean Foreign Minister Yoon Byung-se, who's in Cuba for a two-day visit, reportedly conveyed Seoul's desire to establish diplomatic ties with Cuba. Seoul and Havana have not had any diplomatic relations since the Cuban Revolution in 1959. Although the talks were held in a friendly atmosphere, there was no immediate response from Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez on the issue. Political watchers note the Caribbean state still maintains close relations with North Korea. The two sides brushed upon other global and bilateral issues as well, agreeing to expand cultural exchanges. We'll have full coverage on Yoon's visit to Cuba in our evening newscast. Top diplomats from the U.S. and China will sit down for talks in Beijing today amid rising tensions over North Korea and the South China Sea. Both sides have reiterated the importance to resolve issues in a peaceful manner, but a long tug of war is expected of the talks. Kim Hye-sung takes a look at what's at stake.
The 8th U.S.-China Strategic and Economic Dialogue started with an opening address by Chinese President Xi Jinping, who emphasized the importance of U.S.-China cooperation and its contribution to the stability and development of the Asia-Pacific region and the world. The U.S. delegation, led by Secretary of State John Kerry and Treasury Secretary Jacob Lew, will join their Chinese counterpart, State Councilor Yang Jie-chi and Vice Premier Wang Yang, for the two-day meeting that started Monday. At the opening ceremony, Secretary of State John Kerry laid out the three main agendas: the South China Sea, North Korea, and trade. China's buildup of military bases on reclaimed islets in the South China Sea has been a contentious issue between the two countries, with the U.S. sending warships and aircraft carriers to the region. North Korea is another thorny issue. A meeting between Chinese President Xi Jinping and top North Korean diplomat Lee Soo-yong on June 1st took Washington by surprise, and the U.S. is expected to continue pressing China to impose stronger sanctions on the North. Trade is also on the agenda. Just after China's bilateral talks with North Korea last week, the U.S. Commerce Department issued a subpoena to Chinese tech company Huawei Technologies to investigate whether it broke U.S. export controls by trading with North Korea and 4 other countries. This was seen as a warning to China, and experts believe Washington will use similar moves to push for further changes in China's currency controls and curbs on industrial output. The security dialogue between the U.S. and China has been held every year since 2009 and wraps up on Tuesday. 김혜성, 아리랑 뉴스.
Heavy traffic is expected to jam roads today, the last day of the 3-day Memorial Day weekend here in Korea. The congestion is especially tight on major roads, especially in the eastbound lanes of the Yeongdong Expressway and in the northbound lanes of the Nonsan-Cheonan Expressway. With more than 4 million cars on the roads, the Korea Expressway Corporation estimates it'll take more than 5 hours to drive from Busan to Seoul and about 4 hours from other southern cities like Daegu and Gwangju. The congestion is expected to peak between 4 and 5 p.m. this afternoon, but should clear up by around 11 p.m. this evening. Real-time information on traffic flow on all freeways can be found online at www.ex.co.kr. And that does it for now. Check out more of the day's headlines here on ARIRANG. Thank you for watching.